During this session, we will discuss the monitoring of students' language development throughout the year. As you know, English learners are assessed once per year using the TELPAS. The tools we will discuss here will allow you to monitor students' language proficiency and development over time to determine what additional instructional supports may be needed in order to aid in their language development. After this session, guides will be prepared to access and understand how to use the language progression tools and also be able to observe students' language progress in cycles in the four domains of language. The four domains of language include listening, speaking, reading, and writing. A language progression guide was developed for each domain of language. You will notice that each guide was created as a chart in a Google document, so you can access these from anywhere. Here you'll see just a screenshot of what each of the tools looks like. All is set up in this similar fashion. The language progression tool was designed for each domain of language. It really summarizes the student's language skills at each stage of proficiency and shows the progression of each language skill. And what it really does is allows teachers to see students' strengths and weaknesses as it relates to language. During our session, I will model the use of the language progression tools with the reading chart. The first row of each chart lists the proficiency levels, and the first column provides the components of language for that domain. If you would like to know more about the language proficiency levels, a link is provided to the Texas English Language Proficiency Level descriptors. When you click on that link, you are provided with a full proficiency level descriptor and description of what students can do at each level. The charts shown here describe the K1 reading and grades 212 reading expectations for students. So it just really provides an overview for you of what students at those proficiency levels should be able to do. Remember that the language progression tool is an observational tool. So here you will see that after working with a student for a few weeks, the teacher was able to pinpoint where her students performed in each category. So this student's overall proficiency level is intermediate. But you'll notice that in the fluency category, the student scored a little bit higher or showed a little bit higher progress, where it's showing that they are advanced. And in modifications, they were a little bit lower than we would have expected. They're at the beginning stage. This just gives you a snapshot of where your student is getting started when you do your initial observation. After a few weeks have passed, this same tool was used to record students' language progress. You will notice that the students stayed the same in some areas, but improved in others. The pink arrow shows the student's level after time. The maroon arrow shows where students initially started. Again, these are all based on teachers' observations of the student throughout time, throughout their instruction with them, just to see how they are performing with regards to reading. All of the language progression tools, listening, speaking, reading, and writing, are available at the tiny URL listed here, tinyurl.com/lang progress. This is an observation based tool, So your interaction with the students is key to knowing where students are performing and the types of language they're using. And the tools that are provided to you can be used for all grade and proficiency levels. I look forward to hearing from you all with regards to how the tool has been used and any improvements that can be made.